we're going to use read line. So we're going to do a for loop. Or, no, we're going to do a while loop. While line num equals 1, do end. Here we're going to do local line num equals 1. So that means that this will run until line number equals 1. And we're going to do line text line num equals fs or equals config dot read line. So I'll read the line, and then we're going to do config dot open c read, because we only need to read for this. So all we need to do is open it in read mode, so that way we don't accidentally modify the file somehow. So now we're also going to declare a local called cconfig, and it's going to be a blank table. So basically, so by the way, in loops, if there's a variable that you declared in the loop, it gets reset every time it runs through. But if you declared it before the loop and then you use it in the loop, it doesn't get reset every time the loop runs through. That's why I'm setting all these numbers up here, or all these things up here, because I want them to save throughout the loop. So if table dot insert cconfig. Pretty sure that should be a string. We'll check that in a second. Cconfig line text. So this is going to put on every one in the table. Every line will be the number of line in this. So this returns two values: the text on the line, and then whether or not the next line is nil, which if it is nil, it's 2. If it isn't, then it's 1. And then the second time you run this in a program, it will read the second line, and so on. So once this equals 2, it's not going to run the while loop again, and so that way it doesn't infinitely loop the config.readLine and never stop. So now we're going to do, once we get here, we're going to do a for loop. Oh, and indent it properly. We're going to do a for m equals 1 length of cconfig. So we're going to look at every single line, and we're going to check every single line. So if name, oh, I already have that. C name, is that a thing yet? No, C name is going to be declared up here. Or no, because actually I don't need that. I'm just going to do string.sub on it and then check out matches name, and if it does, then I'll save it. So actually, I do need C name up here. C name equals nil. Alright, and Now CName equals string dot sub. Now I'm going to sub the name length. So I'm going to sub name. And I'm going to sub config m. I'm going to do the first one, and then I'm going to do one, and then name length. And then if CName is the same as name, then and info equals, these should be locals so we can refer to them. Blank table, and then info equals m. Line equals m. So this will tell us what line to check to get name and info. So actually we can just change this to line. It doesn't need to be a table. I was going to put multiplies in there, but I changed my mind. So it can just equal 0. We can say line equals m. And then we'll run through this, and we'll only ever find one. Because we're going to make set's going to double check that it doesn't make it twice. Because if it finds it twice, then actually we don't need to run through this. We can just say break, and what that does, it breaks the loop. So now it set the line that we need to m. It broke out of the loop. So now we're here. I'm going to do a string dot sub. So have we used c value? Nope. C value equals string dot sub config line, and then the first one's going to be, everything's going to be going to go the name of the variable space equals space. So the name length would be, say, 10. Then there's an additional 3, and then that's where it starts, because 10, 11, 12, 13. No, it would start on the 4th. What the? That's lightning. Holy, that's scary. Okay. Oh, 33. Oh, did I not put a do for my for loop? Or my while loop? 2. Oh, because if we make a new one real quick here, so say it's test equals hi. Actually, it wouldn't be that. It'd be test equals hi. Right. Yeah, the config only. Let's say the config only works for strings. We could have like a %5 or whatever in front. for the different types. And we'll do this. We'll have strings be like that. That would be a string. No, so strings will be that. Be equals s high. Test 2 equals b true. Test 3 equals n 1, for example. So equals s means is a string, equals b means is boolean, equals n means is number, and then if, yeah, so you can't store nils in here though. You could just store like nothing, that, and it would return a nil, but there's no built-in part for nil. I think that's what we do. So here test would be 4, and then so that'd be the length of test, and then 5 would be the space, 6 would be the equals, 7 would be the s. So 3 more. I want to get exactly. I want to find out what if this is a string, a boolean, a number, what. So 3 more than the length would be that. The letter that comes after the equal sign, and then name length plus 3. So we get exactly just that one letter. And now, yeah, so C, not value, type. So now, if C type equals S, then else if C type is a boolean, then else if C type is a number, then else, otherwise, yeah, there's no other, yeah, it shouldn't be anything else. So then it will just be end. Then do C value string dot sub C config line name. So now we're getting the value. String dot length, get the length of C config line. So now we'll get the value. Local Man, getting this stuff out of here is really difficult. Alright, so if it's a string, so C value, just return C value. That's easy enough. For a string, that's easy, because I don't need to turn it into a number or whatever. So, return C value. Return, so this is for it's a boolean. So this is actually a bit more complicated. If C value equals, now keep in mind, this is going to return to us this, no, nope. Isn't that so true? Or someone's one of these that I can copy, okay. So if it's true, else if C value, because it returns a string when we do this string.stop, right? So we need to check if the string says false or if it says true. Then we need to actually return a boolean value of false or true. So, and return false, like that. Return true, like that. So that's our boolean. And now for our to number, we just need to return to number C value. So we'll just turn the string into a number and return it. There. Let's see if that worked. If it didn't, I'm going to have to stop this anyway. Control, reboot. Don't give me an errors. Okay. Edit. Oh, it's August. Test. Okay, and edit configs /test. Make sure everything's good here. Nope. So there's no values here. So test equals string test or value. So it should return a string of value. Okay, let's reboot everything to be sure and test. Attempt to call the L on config 32. Hopefully this is a small one. 1, 2, you know what, no, we're doing it in game. This is big enough now. Edit config, this is 32. Attempted to call nil. Edit APIs /config. On line 32. Config equals fs. That was just a really bad mistake. Test. Bad argument. Table expected got string on 35. So table expected got string. Probably. Oop. It wants. Okay, and test. It returned nothing. It returned something, but it didn't return what we wanted. Okay. Okay, we're going to have to continue this debugging later, because I think that I need to end the episode. If I haven't already passed my time, I definitely have by now, so goodbye. See you next episode, and we'll try to figure out why I didn't return anything in general. I returned something that we wanted.